we make things. We use our hands, minds, and machines to build, to fix, to improve. We're known as do-it-yourselfers, home improvement fans, fix-it fanatics, inventors. At our core, though, we're all makers. So let's jump in and make something.
Hi, I'm Ron Hazelton. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to install a prefabricated laminate countertop along with a new stainless steel sink. Then we'll turn a little used corner of a room into much needed storage space by installing an easy to build closet. It's made from just a few basic materials and goes up in only a day. If you're short on closet space, you'll want to check this out. Finally, the day's tip: how to recycle a bicycle part into a powerful clamp that's especially good for holding odd-shaped parts. Now this is going to be fun, so grab the toolbox and let's get started. Well, today I'm headed to Pownall, Vermont to visit Ed and Linda Rates.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
All right, Linda.
Linda,
Hi, Ron.
pleasure to meet you. Huh? Boy, I feel like we're in the middle of the woods right here.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
We are.
We are in the woods. Yeah. We are. I know, because the road I took getting down here. Well, show me what's going on, folks.
Sure.
Well, Ron, the kids are this close to out of college. Our kitchen needs a facelift.
So we're going to start with the countertop? All right, why don't we start by clearing off the countertop right
Okay.
here.
Great.
Yeah. Can we put this on the table?
Fine.
Here? Okay. Let's start by disconnecting our plumbing here. I'll get a child lock here. You got grandchildren?
Not yet. We're still hoping, though. But
So what's that for?
from our kids when they were small, we put them on, so they're 21 years old too.
Okay, so first thing I want to do is just turn off the water supply here. All right, and now these are both shut off. What I like to do, though, is to go up here and just turn on the faucet. If water's still coming out of here, I know that valve is not working properly. And if you can hold that, I'm just going to put this tray in here to catch any water that might come out of this line and our drain lines. And then we'll disconnect the water lines here. I want to be turning this nut off here, like this. There we go. Okay, we're going to take the P-trap off first. That's why we want the pan down here. Now usually these countertops are held on with some screws and they're often found at the corners. So let's pull this drawer out right here. Take a look. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, right up here, see this block? The screw going through that block into the countertop.
Oh yeah.
Let me just get this out of here.
Altogether, there are about a dozen screws to remove, and Ed makes short work of it.
There
Okay,
you go.
got it?
That's the last one.
Okay, great. All right. Everything should be loose. Let's give this a little bit of a test. No. Okay, what happens sometimes is they caulk these backsplashes, and we probably could tear it off, but I don't want to damage your wallpaper here. So I've got a utility knife. Let me just run this down here and cut at least the top of the caulk. All right, we're going to try to pry this loose a little bit. I'll put the putty knife there to protect the wall.
Don't you have to take the sink out first?
We could, but I find it's easier to take it out in the countertop because you can reach the clips easier when it's out. Or in this case, you're putting a new sink in, so. Okay.
Right.
But while you're here, okay?
Okay.
And let's just pull this down. Okay, all the way, pull it down. There you go, lift it up. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna come out this way. Now we have to clear the drains down there in the sink. All right, folks, let's just take it right outside, okay?
Uh-huh.
Watch the fridge there, we're kind of close.
Oh, Ed, it is beautiful.
Now this countertop came with the sink partially cut out right here. I've never seen this before. It's great, but I want to make sure that this is in fact the right size for our sink.
I cut the template out of the sink's packing box and place it over the counter's cutout. A good fit. In order to prevent the cutout from dropping as we saw through, we fashioned a temporary clamp from 2 scraps of wood and a screw, which we attach at opposite corners.
Excellent! Congratulations. How was that for you?
I'm so
Nervous?
I was very nervous.
You did a great
It's
job.
easier than I
Excellent
thought,
job.
Ron. Very
Yeah.
nervous.
Well, you're a certified jigsaw user now. There you go. You can let it. Got it?
Got it.
And there's our sink opening. All right. Folks, we're about to set this in place now. I think I'm gonna go in first. Let me try that. Okay, you clear there?
Clear for
Okay, let's
air.
go back.
Watch their fingers. Everybody watch their fingers. There we go. We're down.
Beautiful color. Hurry up, guys. I gotta go buy some curtains to match my new countertop.
Easy.
Well, here's your new sink, stainless steel. And we gotta have to do a few things to this before we put it in the countertop. Next, we apply plumber's putty to the edge of the drain cutout so the new sink baskets will make a watertight seal. Then we attach as much of the plumbing as possible before installing the new sink. Finally, we apply a silicone sealant around the sink lip to ensure a watertight bond with the countertop.
So we're ready to put this in place?
We are ready to put this in place, absolutely. You guys flip it over, I'll kind of mind the cords here. Expect some of that steel under caulk to squish out, but that's okay. This way a bit. You like it?
Oh, I love it.
What's going to be such a pleasure to wash dishes in this?
Oh, I think Eddie will really enjoy doing dishes.
I guess so. I have to end up doing them after all.
You know, sometimes lying down on the job is inevitable. After all, someone has to tighten the clips that hold the sink to the countertop. After the final connections are made, plumbing works, and countertop, I think, looks great.
It does.
Congratulations on the color, by the way.
Thanks.
That was very bold of you.
Yes,
but
it
does
was.
work, and I like it goes beautifully with the cabinets.
You made it easy.
Yeah, we only took us, a little over half a day to do this. Right.
Great
And you guys were
job.
great to work with. You're such good sports, and love your sense of humor.
Thanks for coming.
Go team.
Yeah.
And you come back.
And now, I'm headed to Chappaqua, New York to visit Yuki Sagusa. Hi, Yuki.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Oh, nice to see you. What a beautiful fall day this is, huh?
Yeah, it's
Colors
just gorgeous.
popping out all over.
Yeah, we actually moved in during the summer, and that's one of the reasons why I called you. We discovered a little bit of a problem. We park our car in the garage, and we want to keep all the mud and the dirt in the garage before we enter the house.
Sure. Once we're inside, it becomes pretty clear that what Yuki needs is a closet.
Yeah.
So you got 3 walls already here. We just put a short wall in here in the front and some doors, and you'll have your closet. Because we don't want to build our new wall on top of the carpet, Yuki and I measure the area needed for the closet and then transfer that measurement to the floor. Once the depth of the closet has been measured on both sides, I'll lay a piece of masking tape between the lines, stretch a chalk line over it, snap it, and then use the utility knife to cut through the carpet. Yuki pulls up the carpet and then moves on to remove the molding. Well, the baseboards are off and we're ready to build our walls.
That was pretty easy.
We'll begin by putting down this bottom plate. This is going on to concrete down here. So what we'll have to do first of all is drill some holes into that concrete, and that means using a masonry bit. I drill a clearance hole through the wood block or bottom plate, which also starts the hole in the concrete. To prevent drilling too deeply, we'll wrap a piece of black tape around the drill bit. When the bottom edge of this tape reaches the concrete, we'll know it's time to stop drilling. I slip a lag screw through the 2x4 and into the lag shield, then snug it tight with a socket wrench. We'll do the same thing on the ceiling, screwing the top plate to the header. Next, we'll measure the distance between the top and bottom plates, and then head out to the garage to cut our first wall stud.
All right, good.
You bet.
That'll be a good one.
We'll slide our wall stud up against the existing wall, between the top and bottom plates. Then use a drill to countersink a pilot hole and attach our wall studs with a couple of drywall screws. So they're going to go right into those pre-drilled holes that we did earlier. Next, Yuki does the same thing to the other stud. For rigidity, we'll add a small piece of 2x4 to the center of the new wall. Now with the framing in place, it's time to measure for the wall board.
wide.
14 wide. Okay, let's go out to the garage and cut this out.
Okay.
Now there's really no big trick to cutting wallboard. We simply mark our dimensions on one side with a pencil. And using a straight edge and a very sharp utility knife, we'll score along that line. turn the board over, okay, straight down, fold it back along the score we just made. Okay, good. Use that utility knife again, cut down the fold, put it back down, and it snaps right off. There we go. Okay, let's just carry this in.
Okay.
Let's drop it in. We secure the wallboard with drywall screws, making sure the heads are below the surface, but not tearing the paper. Yuki's out in the garage cutting the door jambs that we're going to trim out this opening with. And I checked to be sure that everything on the sides here was plumb or vertical, and it is, but the top up here is not level. It's low on this end, and we'll have to take that into consideration when we put this jamb up. Well, here she is. How'd it turn out?
Good, I think.
Okay, let's go ahead and fit this in. Okay, good. Oh, it's great fit for length, all right. We'll insert some shims along the door jamb to level it. Using 2 shims, one inserted from each side of the door jamb, we're able to adjust the slope of the jamb until it's level. Once level, we'll nail the jamb through the shims, score the shims with a utility knife, and snap them off. Next, we measure the door thickness and transfer that measurement to the jamb using a combination square. This is how we create the door stop, a piece of molding that keeps the doors from swinging into the closet. We'll want to seal the joints between our old wall and our new wall. So I use some self-stick perforated joint tape and press it into the corners. Next, I'll load up my putty knife with some joint compound. It's a spackle-like material that when dry can be sanded smooth. Pressure on the side of the putty knife blade pushes the compound into the holes, creating a seamless surface. To conceal the gap or space between the edge of the wallboard and the door jamb, Yuki cuts a special piece of molding called door casing. Once the casing is cut to length, I'll back it off about 1/8 of an inch to the edge of the jamb. Then Yuki nails it in place. Well, these are your new doors. They're louver doors. They match the other doors here in the room. And I want to hang these using a non-mortise hinge. It's just easier to install. So we lay this on here. I've measured down about 7 inches for the top here. I'm going to take a self-centering drill bit. See, it's got a sort of a shaft here and a bit on the inside. After drilling the pilot holes, we'll drive in screws to secure the hinge in place. Okay.
And this one?
Once the hinges are on the doors, it's just a matter of putting the doors into position and screwing the hinges into the jamb. Well, in just one day, we've transformed this empty space into a really terrific closet. So what do you think?
Wow, that's great. It's perfect. It's just what we wanted.
A couple things you'll need to do to finish it up. When the joint compound dries tomorrow, give it a light sanding, then prime and paint everything, and then pick out some really nice knobs or pulls here. Did you enjoy this?
Yes, I did. It was great fun. Thank you so much for your help.
You're very welcome. You know, you used about every power tool in my mobile shop. So anytime you want to borrow my tool belt,
Ooh, okay.
it's yours.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome to the wonderful world of light controllers. Simple screw-in devices that can convert any floodlight, lamp, or exterior fixture into one that turns on or off automatically. This controller has a built-in photoelectric cell. The device installs in any lamp or fixture, then the bulb screws into it. Now I'm shading the photocell with my hand to simulate darkness. The controller senses this and turns on the lamp. This version converts just about any lamp into a touch control lighting device. Once it's in place, I can touch any metal part on the base and switch on or off even 3-way bulbs. A lighting controller like this incorporates a timer that will turn a lighting fixture on and off based on how you program it. It allows you to have light precisely when you want it, indoors or out. Any exterior floodlight can easily be converted to one that turns on automatically as darkness falls by simply screwing in this controller. Bottom line, indoors or out, if your light fixture has a bulb, then you can make it automatic. As you can probably tell, I've got about every kind of clamp there is here in the shop. But when it comes to clamping round objects like the handle on this antique doll stroller
or the shattered pedestal on this table base, well, conventional clamps aren't always the best solution. As a matter of fact, the best clamping solution might be found not in a woodworking shop, but in a bicycle shop. That's right, a bike shop. A bicycle inner tube can be the perfect clamping tool for some kinds of jobs. Let me show you how.
To turn a bicycle tube into a clamp, I first cut away the valve. Then cut the tube in half lengthwise. I end up with two long, narrow strips of very stretchable rubber. Now here's how I'll use these giant rubber bands to clamp the table base. I always like to put my work in the most comfortable and convenient position, in this case, upside down and slipped over a wooden pin in my workbench. Next, I pour a little glue in a disposable container. This is the cut-off bottom from an empty water bottle, and brush it on the broken parts. Once the pieces are in place, I gently wrap a piece of painter's masking tape around them to keep things from slipping. Then I begin wrapping the rubber strap.
Now what's important here is to stretch the rubber band out as I wrap so that I'm putting pressure on that joint. And with each wrap, I'm putting more and more pressure, just like a conventional clamp would do.
A small spring clamp will hold the strap in place while the glue dries.
Now, one of the disadvantages of using the bicycle inner tube is that the tube completely covers the joint sometimes, which means you can't see the glue that's squeezing out. So what I do is put some paste wax on the finished surfaces like this, so that if glue does squeeze out, I can easily remove it later on. It won't stick to the wax.
On the antique baby stroller, the process is virtually the same. I apply glue to the broken surfaces, position the pieces together, and wrap them with a rubber strap. Again, stretching the band a bit as I make each rotation, then securing the end with a spring clamp. The glue has dried on the table base, so I unwrap the inner tube clamp and the masking tape.
Well, there's a little bit of the crack still visible. It's tight. That's mostly a finish problem, and I think I can take care of that with a touch-up marker.
I dab on the marker, let it set for a few seconds, then wipe off the excess. The repair is nearly invisible.
So, when is a clamp not a clamp? When it's a bicycle tube. And if you ask the bike shop for a flat, this is a clamp that'll be absolutely free.
To view today's projects again, visit ronhazelton.com. Step-by-step home improvement tips when you need them. Let Ron show you how to do it yourself.